You guys are welcome. Everybody helped us out when I was totally broke, and I've made some money since, and hopefully this helps pay it forward.
Thank you so much. It's amazing.
So James, you need to turn your camera tilted up slightly because we're just cutting off the top of your head.
So, unfortunately, with the way it's set up, it's currently wedged between a Call of Duty box and a Batman Arkham City box. We'll see if I can manage to fix that.
Only Johnny and James can be heard. That's why. They can't hear this mic. They can hear your mic.
All right. Let us know when you hear us.
All right, I can hear you good. And I'm kind of just holding this here, so we'll see how long that lasts for.
Apparently, the chat says you're hot, James.
Can you hear anyone else?
It's true.
Okay, chat, can you hear us better now?
Can you hear us any better?
They can hear us now.
Wait.
Everyone sounds fine.
Better? Really?
Yay!
Yes, yes.
Sound
Sound
balanced. Yay!
Yes.
Spring break. Okay.
Okay, so now we can take questions for either Daniel or James.
And we can, and Johnny can switch the feed back and forth depending on who is talking.
Woohoo!
All right.
This is all very high tech, and it's actually working pretty well.
Yeah, like
So,
I know you guys can't see what all they've set up here, but it is actually incredibly high tech. So
One of these days.
I'm impressed.
Okay, so let's just get Dan to answer the question he was about to ask, which was, what was your first day at Pixar like? And then we'll
great.
go on. Then we'll go back to answering questions from the chat. So yeah.
first, I've had like seen like a ton of people asking questions that this will probably answer. So like, hang on, if that answers anything at all for you, there you go.
Oh, whether or not you're a brony.
Yes. So, all right. Next, now that that's out of the way.
What about the SOPA question for James?
Oh yeah.
the timer.
Okay, so
Oh, sure.
wait.
Yes.
I actually really want to dive in on that because I'm actually reasonably concerned about SOPA.
Okay,
I think
you do
it's
that
going to get
first,
shot
then
down since,
Daniel will answer
again,
his question.
That's more
entities like Google and Yahoo have to be against it. But it is a substantial threat, and I'm not sure we're going to get to be able to put out an episode on it before the hearing happens. So for all of you guys, if you know anything about the Protect IP Act, the act that allows basically the government to freeze any sites, make them unsearchable that are considered infringing by major corporations, that's been essentially revived under a different name called SOPA. Jump on any Video Game Voters Network, any of these sort of things, and use their form email or do it yourself. Write your member of House, member of Congress, and object to this thing because it's terrible not only for us in the U.S. It's a very bad idea across the board and sends a very unfortunate precedent, in my opinion, about regulation of the internet. So that was my 2 cents on SOPA. It is a little bit more concerning than some of the previous things that have come up along this line.
Fair enough. Okay. Yes?
Yes.
Are we good? Okay. Sorry. Then Daniel was talking about his first day at Pixar.
Yes, first day at Pixar was good. It's because it would have been a lot more scary, but I was among the initial 9 animators that were hired there, so we basically all had our first day at once. So we were all just kind of having our first day at school, nervous day, and so it's a very awesome working environment. They're very supportive people. You are surrounded by freakishly talented people all the time, but everyone is so very nice and welcoming and everything that I recommend that working environment to anybody. So, yeah. But no, Brad Bird's not there.
This is for both of you guys. What universities specializing in game development would you recommend?
James.
So, I got to give a shout out to the school I teach at and my alma mater. I actually think so. Before I go to either of those, USC is quite good. Besides USC, if you're looking for an undergrad, DigiPen is excellent. I also teach the master's there, so I think the master's program is quite good, but they're really well known for their undergrad. And then if you're looking for a master's, Carnegie Mellon's Entertainment Technology program is one of the best out there, in my opinion. Jesse Schell teaches that program.
All right. Let's keep it rolling.
Sweet.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion on the current state of video game reviews, specifically the way that they? Oh, We need to figure out a better system for this.
If you guys can ask questions that are 5 words long, that'd be great.
How is Babby formed?
Wow.
Okay, well,
hey, what's your
let's just get as far as I got. What do you guys feel about the state of video game reviews at the moment?
I can't see you guys, so I don't know if Dan's like about to jump in or not.
If you don't hear me, go ahead.
All right, I guess I'll jump in on this one. So video game reviews today, absolutely essential service, right? We need to, before you lay down $60 on something, you do want to know in some very bite-sized, digestible manner what's in it. But they're not enough. We really need to move beyond this simple numerical scale that we use now, this all-important Metacritic, to true critique, where we explore games a little bit further and dig into some of the elements that really make these experiences unique, that can't necessarily be quantified as simply as a generic number for graphics, for sound, for gameplay, a number for gameplay, and giving the same number to something like Halo and then something like Portal makes no sense, and it makes even less sense when you then stretch it out to Bejeweled or other games, and yet this is what we do.
Actually, I have a question for both of you guys. I guess this is mainly for James, but also for you as an artist. What do you think of this trend, of like the trend towards like small, not amazingly made social games? Do you think that sort of undermines the industry, or do you think it's a good thing?
All right, I'm always gonna give that 10-second pause since I can't see you.
Just go. Just start talking.
Go for it.
I don't know any way to make them stop being from being made. So, but
But do you like them?
oh no, I don't like them. But like, it's if I like them if they are good and fun.
Can we extend this out into like bite-sized cheap apps, like mobile games as well?
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. The same thing. Yeah, like if it is good, I would like it. The thing I dislike most about like just the fact that a bad app gets made, not a problem, but the fact that that it just floods the store so much and makes it harder to find the good ones is a pain. But I don't know, James, what do you think?
So, obviously, you guys have heard my thoughts on just these wider distribution methods. Having the opportunity to make a game for less than $20 million, giving the opportunity to people in their homes to make games, I think is really going to broaden the medium. I think it's fantastic for all the programmers and designers and artists who are now growing up, who are able to put out a game, who this industry was totally inaccessible to, and who can now actually build something themselves and get it out to the world to see, right? And like anything, right? Even if you look back to our sacred days of the Nintendo era, when you could still do this, or better yet, the Atari era, which was very similar, one person building a game by themselves. Most of them were terrible, right? But we got some gems out of it. And to me, that's the important thing. I think that we'll look back and only remember the really strong points. It's unfortunate that everyone is trying to capitalize on the social trend, especially some of the big money that's being thrown at making exactly what you called smaller, not very well made social games that are well marketed, because really both those sort of push out the perhaps better games that don't have the marketing dollars, but also, I'm going to get killed for saying this, but I believe that social was in some ways a bubble phenomenon as far as the dollars go. Social is here to stay, and I think it's a very powerful part of our medium, but in terms of the money that was expected to be made off of it, after all the changes to the Facebook EULA and that sort of thing, I don't think you can just put $100,000 in, get $10 million out anymore. And yet, like usual, I see a lot of VCs who are a year or two back from the cutting edge, and so you still see a lot of money being thrown at those sort of experiences. And it's unfortunate that that money isn't going elsewhere. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I've seen one question come up a lot, and it's a good one. So James, I'm going to go ahead and read it for you to answer. Do you have any suggestions for a game designer just out of school?
Yes, I do. My principal suggestion is to make gains. I mean, any place you're going to go to, your portfolio is what's going to matter. Beyond that, if you haven't already entered the industry, besides working with the team, go to GDC. Go to any of the major conventions, because that's where you'll meet people. And unfortunately, all of us get so many resumes every day that you're going to have to do something to separate yourself out. One of the best ways to do that is to have some actual face time with somebody in the company, in an environment like GDC, where you can later mail those people and have them make sure your resume gets put in a separate pile to really get some attention. So that would be my advice immediately after college. If you're in college, college is one of the best times to really build out that portfolio. It's easy to grab a team of people with disparate skills, artists, designers, writers, people who can program or play music, and get them to put out a product. Aim for something small, aim for something that's accomplishable. What you first think is accomplishable is probably going to be overscoped, so you probably have to cut it back, but it's a great learning experience, and it's going to be a great portfolio piece for you when you come out and try and get a job in this industry. Also, if you're in college, try and get an internship, as those are slightly easier to get, and try every summer. That's about it.
That's awesome.
Mr. Mold asked this question, and I think it's a really good one for both of you guys.
Okay.
Is there any topics that you've wanted to do, but it's been a little bit too difficult, or it's never quite come together and you haven't been able to cover it in extra credits?
Yes. We've been saying since episode 14 that we were going to do a voice acting episode.
Yes.
We're still going to do a voice acting episode, and when it happens, you guys, it is going to be so amazing.
No, Jill, don't open that door.
No, well, it's going to be amazing because of who we are hoping to have involved with it. The problem is, the reason it has not come out is because problems with people who we're trying to get involved with it. So, when it happens, it's going to be amazing. But it may just still be a little while.
I have high hopes that episode will be amazing. That was my answer as well. We want to do this voice acting episode, and coordinating all the people who we want to get involved with it has so far proven actually impossible. But we'll do it. And yeah, when it comes out, amazing.
If you're trying to get Wendy Lee in there, who I believe is the voice of Faye Valentine in Cowboy Bebop, and a bunch of other people, which I'd like to see that. I just revealed how much of an anime nerd I am. But
We probably can't say who we've been talking to, can we?
I'm afraid to report that the Honorable Judge Pimp Santa needs to retire to his chambers, because I've done this for an hour now.
wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Oof.
I like how we're answering all these wonderful questions while Graham is dressed as Judge Pimp Santa.
I'm pretty sure if you just got like Nolan North, you could do all the voices.
Oh, there you go. See that? Yeah. If we get a good enough voice actor, we only need one.
Or David Hayter.
They can just pretend to be everybody else. Can we? I don't know. Can we talk about who we were talking with? Or?
I don't think we should. Mostly, both for them and for. I'm not sure we're going to deliver on all of them. And
Yeah.
Say something we're not actually
It's on that green.
get involved.
Probably. Yeah, that's.
It's on the other side of James. It's the rest of
Some
the...
names have popped up that,
the rest
in
of the
seeing them,
costumes
made
with
me
it.
super excited. But I'll just leave it at that. You okay?
Yeah, no, it was just really warm in that costume. What do you think about Australians having to pay twice the game's price at retail?
So, I just came back from Argentina, and they have to pay about 4 times as much. When I go to Brazil, they have to pay like 4 to 5 times as much as well. It's usually an issue of import taxes, and so I think it's actually destructive for the industry, both the internal industry in those countries and the industry trying to sell to those markets everywhere else. But the only way that's ever going to change is if anybody ever bothers to pressure the government to change the import tax laws. I'm not sure in Australia's case, but I'm relatively confident that the same situation is going on there. One of the things that we found...
They found a thing,
They found
and
a
I'm
thing.
sure it was very important.
Oh no.
So important they had to...
Stuck. Skype is stuck.
Cliffhanger. Wow.
Cliffhanger.
We lost